Hello all you heroes, villains, and innocent bystanders. Welcome to another exciting episode of An Angel and Her Unicorn comic book reviews. I'm Alan the Unicorn, and with me today is...
Raylan the Hyena.
And we will be reviewing the books for the week. All the books. I read lots and lots of books this week. Probably won't get to all of them, otherwise this video will probably be like 6 hours long. But we will be spoiling the books, so if you haven't read your comics yet, you may want to take a break for a minute. Go read your comics and then come back and see us, or eventually at some point, which I still need to do in our other video, is I will have the times of each book in the descriptions down below, and so you can skip right to it, so you can get there faster. Or you can listen to us, again, babble along throughout the video. If you can, share, like, and subscribe, and turn on your bell notifications so that way if we post a video, you get notified. Otherwise... I think we're ready to rock and roll, don't you? Mm-hmm. Am I going first or you going first?
Me.
You want to go first? Yours are on the top.
I see that.
So which one are you going to do first?
Harley Quinn.
Number. Get to the beginning.
Give me a
No, we'll wait. We'll wait for you. Don't worry.
Good. Okay. Harley Quinn, 61.
Mm-hmm. And then...
Written by Sam Humphries, and the art is...
Wait. Hold.
Well, there's like...
Hold!
Well, there's like inks and paints.
It says right here, pencils.
Oh, you go by
Otto
pencils.
Schmidt and John Timms.
I didn't know if you go by inks.
No.
I'm just...
I mean, there is an inker, which is amazing, and they have a great job. Like, they're amazing at what they do, but unfortunately, we just don't have time to fill everybody.
So, it starts off with Tina, Harley,
All right,
and...
hang on. We're going to look at the camera, because, see, they want to see you. So, we're going to look at the camera, and we're going to do this together. All right. So, there we go. Now, we can slowly look as we talk.
So, it's Harley, Tina, and Catwoman, and they're playing a game.
It's like a Dungeons and Dragons kind of board
Yeah.
game.
And Tina and Harley are having real good fun, while Catwoman, not so much.
Just not into it.
Until she asks to rob a bank, and Harley's like, no, I can't, sorry.
She's trying to be good, because her mom...
Yeah. And then Harley gets sucked into this game, into this tech game.
Because she revealed that she got it from this old lady, for some reason.
And she's in, like, she thinks she's in Arkham Asylum, but it's like this dungeon or whatever. And there's this bad guy type guy. And he thinks she's going crazy. And so he's, like, trying to fix her to be perfect. And she's kept saying, I'm not crazy, so hits him, knocks him out.
Gets freed.
Yeah. And then she goes to the castle of the sorceress, the Kingdom of Gotham.
Which she doesn't realize. She finally realizes she's not in the same world. She's in a
And
different
so
world.
she sees Catwoman, who is the queen in this reality, and she's like, and... And so then the bad guy comes and she knocks him and she says, you made my job easier. So she's free, gives her a hug. Catwoman's not too happy. And then she's like, makes up the reindeers and they're totally different names. Prankster.
Captain Comet.
Captain Comet. Blitzkrieg. Donnercut.
Yeah.
That's my favorite. And then she brings the old guy back to talk to him. And she's using her magic and all that.
The sorceress is captured Hugo Strange, who was trying to interrogate Harley in the beginning. So
that's it.
Yeah.
So...
And they come to find out that this person, that the sorceress that's changed everything and that gave Harley the game is
actually Enchantress.
Yes. So she's separated from June Moon, and now she's just by herself.
And then there's this princess type girl who doesn't have her mouth. And then she goes into the world and realizes it's like this Gotham Renaissance place. So you got...
Speaking of which, I heard a Renaissance fair out on the radio, so we're going to have to figure that out and get tickets. It's that time of year again. Verily! Hasuth! Huzzah!
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 No.
No. We won't be going.
So what's she called? She's called Queen Selena. So Queen Selena and Harley hide out with Lord Edward,
Masters of Riddles.
Master of Riddles. And so he's hiding.
Great.
Stop. He is hiding Harley and Selena.
Yes.
And Deuceface comes and checks, and they're...
Yes, that's who that is.
Yeah. To see if he knows anything.
Two-Face.
Yeah. And that's the Riddler. And he says no. And so then the Gotham Knights...
Who are Queen Selena's kind
Knights.
of... Yeah.
And there's the literal Nightwing.
Yep, who is a knight.
Is he supposed to be Red Tornado?
No, he's Anarchy.
Anarchy, the Druid. Silver St. Cloud, who's she supposed
No idea.
to be? Oh. And then Harvey the Bullock. And Ace the Werewolf Wolf.
Werewolf.
Woof. So then she's like... So then they're talking, making plans, and she's like, and the knights are like, we must save and have Selena be queen. And Harley's like, no, this isn't real. We're all in a dream. We have to fix everything. The Enchantress, and then
Enchantress sends
her group of the Rogue Enforcers, which you got Deuceface, Joseph Chill. Who is he supposed to be?
I don't know.
Captain Cold, maybe?
That's what I was thinking, too.
Because it's not Mr. Freeze.
No, because Mr. Freeze
is Mr. Freeze is Winter Wizard. And then you got
Orkwald, the Cobblestone, which is Penguin.
Really?
Yep.
Oh, yeah, I see it.
Because Oswald Copperpot is his name, is Penguin's name. So Orkwald Cobblestone.
And then you got the Creeper.
Which is supposed to be the Creeper.
Yeah. Except uglier.
Yeah.
And so... they fight.
Yeah. Da-da-da-da! For Queen Selena! Huzzah! Hirsute!
And then Harley and Selena go. They're like, wait. Riddler's like, you must go. And then Harley's like, where? And Selena's like, I don't know. Just go your own way. And she's like, I don't think...
You can go your own way. Go your own way.
Anyways, moving on. So Harley chases after her, says, no, I don't think that's a good idea. And then she sees Tina. Tina, the executioner.
Tina, the talking tummy.
What?
It's a movie. It's okay.
Movie.
Weird movie reference.
And she yells, Tina!
Because they're best friends.
Yes.
All right.
And then she's like, Tina, the executioner, and Harley, you must be executed.
Immediately!
And then there's that weird...
Yeah, there's a little side story, but that's just like a preview.
Preview.
Yep. So, what'd you think of the book?
I liked it.
Did you, what'd you think of the art?
The art was really good.
I really liked the,
I like all of the Renaissance characters.
Yeah, they did really good. They were the costuming that they did for them, and they're even like they're playing on words, like they're playing on their name, like the Orkwald Cobblestone and stuff. Deuceface instead of Two-Face. Like it was really cute, and I really liked the style that they did. So I thought it was really, really good.
I like Tina the Executioner.
I like Tina, period. She's pretty fun.
She's fun.
So what would you rate this?
4.
4?
4.
I wouldn't disagree. It was pretty good. 4 out of 5. I enjoyed it. I've actually been liking the little Harley one. It's kind of fun. The art's really fun. Yeah. So it's definitely a different little book. So I'm going to do Beasts of Burden, The Presence of Others. It's by Dark Horse. It's number 1. The writer is Evan Dorkin, and the art is by Jill Thompson. So this is a little bit of a weird book. It's a number 1. I wasn't really quite sure what I was getting ready to get into, except for like I read the synopsis. It's about animals. But it was kind of... a weird one. So they have like these. It starts off with this family. There's a dad and 2 kids, and they are all kind of ghost hunters or spiritual like. I'm trying to think of it. I'm trying to think of the right word. It's not spiritual hunter. It's like a
bounty hunters.
No, they're ghost investigators, like paranormal investigators.
And
Ghostbusters.
So, like,
yeah, like a Ghostbuster. So the dad kind of has like psychic powers. He can kind of tell how things and occult. And the daughter's the same one. Who are you gonna call?
I already sung that part. Shout out to Bill Murray.
So it's them kind of investigating this area. This area is supposed to be haunted, and so they're kind of trying to figure out. They say that the dad and the daughter are the ones that have the gift, and the brother is more of a when he holds the sister's hand, he has a little bit of her powers, or he can kind of like glom off of her what's going on. So they're sitting there in this little forest, and they tell the story about what's supposed to have happened here. They get surrounded by cats and dogs, and the cats and dogs can talk. And so they're all like, what? So the dad and the sister are realizing that they can talk, but the brother can't hear them. And so eventually the brother holds on to his sister's hand, and he can finally hear the animals talk. And so they talk about how there's this like curse in the woods, and all this other stuff's supposed to be happening, and they're kind of trying to figure out who's who. And they talk about there's rats that do magic, that have dark magic.
That's creepy.
It's super creepy. Wait for it. So they bring them up.
It's better rats than snakes, though.
I don't disagree. So they send out scouts. They send out the cats. There's 3 cats that are kind of like the scouting party. So they send them out, and they find this tomb, or they go after them because it's been a while since they've been found. So they go after, and they find this kind of crypt. The dad stays for a little bit. He's like, I can pick this lock. You guys go help the cats, because they can hear him cry. And so they go after to help the cats, the sister and brother. And the 2 dogs stay with the father as he opens the crypt. When he opens the crypt, all of a sudden these vines come and suck him into the crypt and close the door and knocks the dogs out of the way. Then the brother and sister finally figure out what's going on with the cats. They found mice, and then all of a sudden a big giant huge rat jumps out of the ground, and he's got like a 3rd eye stuck on his forehead, and he ends up killing one of the cats, which makes me really sad.
No.
Bites him in half. Tears. Cried a little bit. It was very sad. Everybody attacks the rat. The brother and sister start trying to stab him and kill the rat, and eventually they do. One of the dogs gives the sister the gun that her dad had, and she's like, "Why do you have his gun?" So they go, "Your dad's been hurt." So they run back to the crypt after they kill the big rat, and the dad comes out and he's kind of zombified. So he's sitting there, and he comes and attacks the sister. Well, the brother was working on this like ghost taser. And so he ended up, he zaps his dad, and it releases the spiritual energy out of him. And so they're kind of trying to like woo him, get him back awake, and see if he's okay. And that was the end of the book. So it's kind of a weird premise. Like they got, occult rats. A lot of things
going on.
A lot of things. A lot of creepy things. A lot of sad things. I don't like the cats being dead. That makes me very want to cry a little bit.
I'm sure.
I know. Paid his service. So, I'm really interested to see where they're going to go with this book.
Thunder's a big fan.
Thunder did like it. He's very much he's very excited about all the books that have cats in it. Although he was very sad that his brothers and sisters are not represented properly by death, because Thunder would not have died. So, with this book, I think it's kind of an interesting premise. It's different. I haven't read anything like this, so I will definitely pick up the next issue just to see where they're going to go with it. I like the brother and sister. I like the dad, the human aspect of it. I'm glad that they didn't just bring animals in it, because I feel like it'd be like really boring soon. So
sorry about the yawn.
Yeah, don't start it.
Well, you can.
I'm telling you, your mom is ready at any moment to jump in.
Waiting in the wing.
Waiting in the wings.
You tell someone not to yawn, they can't yawn.
So with this book, the art is really good. It's kind of like a little bit of a cartoony-ish look, so it's kind of interesting to see that. And so I really like the fact that they did really good with the way that they designed everybody and all the animals. And so, yeah, I think it's a really good book. You should try it out, see if it's your bag. 4 out of 5 unicorn horns. Really entertaining dialogue, interesting premise, really cool art. So, yeah, I think it's worth the read. Yeah. All right. Your next one.
We are going to review Spider-Gwen.
Ghost Spider. Spider-Gwen Ghost Spider number. We'll work on it.
8, written by Seanin McGuire, art by Takashi Miyazawa. Sorry about that.
Actually, you probably got closer than I would have.
So it starts at Oscorp. Hold it.
I'm going to.
Starts at Oscorp Earth 62, I believe. And it shows Harry Osborn, his dad owns it, and Gwen Stacy / Spider-Gwen, very little regard for gravity. And so they start talking about their day and how they miss each other and blah, blah, blah. And then her costume comes off, and I'm bored. And it's about, and she's been having these headaches that they're trying to get. And he's like,
some health issues.
Yeah. And he's like, your symbiote isn't it? Can't you talk to it? And she's like, no. And so so she's supposed to have this appointment with this doctor that is not there or whatever, and not showing.
No matter what they do, like they try to find him in all the records, and she's.
And
not
then
there.
she's not in her office or where she was supposed to be, so they keep on going. And then she's looking online to find her, and on Zoogle.
Because they can't use Google.
Yeah. And so then she is MJ comes and she's like, you need to,
because they're all in a band.
Yeah, Beth and what's her face all need to practice, and she feels like she's not helping, and so they're practicing, and then she yells out of pain, and she's like, you're not doing it, and she's griping and being.
Because apparently everybody knows she's Spider-Gwen.
Yeah.
Like, everybody. all the people knows she's Spider-Gwen.
She's not one of the ones who likes to keep it a secret.
No. Everybody knows who she is. So she's like, everybody's kind of like, you're not, Mary Jane's like, you're not pulling this stuff again, oh, I'm sick, oh, I'm a symbiote. So she's not having any of it.
I think Gwen can actually shoot him out of her wrist.
I think it's part of her symbiote. I think it's
yeah,
part of her body.
She can't. Yeah. She doesn't need one of those pistols.
Because this is the first one that I've read of the Spider-Gwen series, and this is the first one you've read, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And so she goes out the window. She says, "Show off. If I had superpowers." I know, MJ. We all know. And then she eats a corn dog because Harry had made a statement of how she loves corn dogs.
And how she's still skinny. Like, she must be bringing it because, like...
And then she jumps off the window and her suit becomes on her. And then she fights bad guys, punches them, boop, boop, boop. And then this guy comes, extracts one of the spiders. Because
she talks about how some of the spiders from her symbiote...
Yeah, the gubby spiders.
Yeah. And so while she's fighting, one of the guys, when she leaves one of the villains.
Yeah, and it was on him, and so, but it doesn't bite him.
Right.
And so the doctor who's helping him comes. Would it be a cool scar? No, it wouldn't.
No,
and then it shows the blue wolf, and apparently the guy's name is Scavenger. And so he has this spider, and he's like, kill it. And he's like, me. And he's like, prove that you are a predator. And then she's on top of the roof. She's on top of a building looking and all that. And the gummy spiders or whatever start coming out. And then she goes and she...
It's time for like the band concert
to play. There, yeah. And she runs, flips on the stage. And then she gets there, and only one of the girls she asks, and they're either doing their hair or hooking up. And so then,
Gross.
yeah. Why would you do it before a concert? What if you're late? What if you don't have time to fix your hair again?
You don't. Girl problems.
Yeah. And then, so she uses her powers to get ready.
Like the symbiote, she kind of like goes away.
Yeah, she snaps and it comes on, and they're like, yeah. So they start singing, and the band's playing, and then her spider senses go on, but she still tries to play it, but it's not working. And she sees this explosive, and she grabs it, and she's trying to extract
Get everybody out, yeah.
But it's not working. And then she says, Harry, you've got it. What does he got? Do you know what it was?
She's gonna say you got to get out. Like she's trying to get everybody out.
Oh, yeah.
She's like gumming up she gums
people.
up one, and then she realizes there's like hundreds, you know.
Oh, that's why it didn't work. She's like, and so she's like, Harry, you've got to. Oh, I thought.
And then it blows
I thought
up.
he has something, and she's like, Harry, you've got to. And then it blows up, and then the next one's called The Aftermath, and her fighting.
Scavenger.
I thought the old guy was Scavenger.
No, I thought the wolf goes. Maybe I'm wrong. It was pretty okay. I'm done. I understand. All right. So what did you think?
I really liked it. It was interesting.
Yeah, I thought it was pretty good. I haven't read
I
this
love her
book.
powers. Her powers are cool.
I like her costume.
I love how it comes on her, and she can do that with her clothes.
I like the hood that she has for her costume,
Yes.
and I also like her outfits. Like her little black spider one was really cool.
And her little blue boots.
Yeah.
She's got the whole white, pink, and all that, and
Yeah.
the blue boots.
She's got some cute
Her outfit's on fleek.
on fleek, as the kids say these days. Let's see. I'm assuming it's called Gogor, and it's an image. It's the first issue. It is by Ken Gehring, and he also does the art and the writing.
Wow, good for him.
I know,
Too much
right?
work.
That's creator owned right there. Creator written, drawn, and lettered. All he does it all. So this one's kind of a fantasy world.
Is he riding a muskrat or a
no,
shrew?
It's like a shrew.
It looks like he's riding a shrew.
He kind of is, because then these bad guys are running this riding these dung beetles. So he's riding the shrew. He's got he's got this little. No, they call them dung beetles later on. I think, I'm pretty sure. So this guy's being chased on this shrew by these guys on these
make it look like a
bugs,
dung beetle.
insects. You know many dung beetles? Like, are you BFFs with one?
No, but I've seen them, and that looks
do you party
nothing
together
like
or something?
them.
Like what? I mean, like dung beetles in and out. Are you an anthropologist? Like what? Did you get some studying that I didn't know about?
I've known some stuff about Egypt,
You just know, huh?
Cleo Denial had a pet.
Shh. So, anyways, he's being chased by these guys. They shoot arrows at him. He's running around, losing them. Hilarity ensues, and they say that that he has to stop because he's getting ready to get to the cliff's edge. And he's like, I'm not stopping. And so they finally realize that he is not stopping. His shrew leaps off the edge, and all of a sudden, has these little flaps that shoot out, and he swings all the way and flies all the way to the other side, where he almost falls off because when he hits the other side, the shrew holds on, and he kind of falls out of his saddle. So, but he holds on, he gets up to the top, and then it shows the world, and the world is actually all these little different islands that are kind of round, which I kind of think is kind of cool. It's all these different areas. So,
I want to see if you can tell countries.
No, I don't think. I think it's just a different world. I don't think it's like our world.
Oh, but I feel like I'd be scared I'd fall off.
I know.
Look how tiny some of those are.
I'm sure that's part of the
challenge.
Pitfalls of the world. So he's kind of cleaning up, and they kind of talk about why he's being chased. He's being chased because these people in the dung beetles have invaded his.
Go with ants, like they don't look like dung beetles.
I'm telling you, I'll have to see where it's at. Anyways, so I think it's when he talks to his other people. Hang on. So he comes in and kind of has a flashback, shows him this guy running around and gives him a scroll. So when he takes the scroll and runs away with it and tries, and the guy tells him to go to the mountains. to the green peak, and so he's trying to get to this green peak. Well, why then it flashes to current time, and why he's doing that, he's he's set up camp. So this creature shows up and he's like, hey, can I use your fire to cook my cabbage? He's like, sure. So he explains to this little creature what he's trying to do. He's trying to escape from this, with this scroll. The little creature reads the scroll and he's like, well, you have to go to these great peaks. He goes, let's stop and we'll get you some supplies and we'll go. And so they go and he sees his friend. The little creature comes in and introduces the boy to all his friends.
He looks like Chase from The Runaways.
Oh yeah, just with no nose.
Yeah, like he's got the hair, the goggles, the gloves. Gert. I'm gonna go with Gert, Molly. That could be Alex, and that's Caroline.
Not even close.
The Runaways. Those are the Runaways.
So the one lady she does pottery. She lets him take a.
That can be the dinosaur. That can be Gert's dinosaur.
Will you let me finish? I'm gonna murder you. I can't do it on tape though, because too much evidence. So they finally get to the hill. It's just the boy and the little monster creature, and he plants. They keep saying the chant over and over again, but nothing happens. Well, then the boy discovers that at the end of the scroll, the end comes off, and there's like a little seed. So they plant the seed, and the dung beetle riders show up on hornets this time, and they kidnap the boy. Well, while they're trying to stop him.
They kidnap the shrew.
Yes, I know, they got him in a little net.
That looks so sad.
And then but the boy keeps chanting, and since the seed keeps growing, and all of a sudden this big giant creature comes out of the ground, which I'm assuming is the Gogor, and it ends. So interesting little book. The art is very cartoonish, very blocky, bright colors. The characters are kind of interesting look. They all have a unique little look. The monster that they summoned is really neat, kind of interesting look from the earth. It's a really cute book, really interesting book. I'm curious to see where it's gonna go. It didn't feel like it had a lot of weight to it. It didn't feel very heavy, so it was kind of an easy read. Very quick, very fast-paced, linear. Kind of told the story pretty well. So I was enjoyed it. I was entertained. I don't think it was something that I was like, oh my god, this is totally new and interesting. So I would say probably a 3.5, 3.5 unicorn horns. I really liked. I think it'd be worth a try. I'm interested to see where the second book is going to go and what they're going to do with it. Like how they're going to. I assume this creature is going to be like kind of like a golem creature that they're going to help save his people. We'll see. So I will read issue 2 and see what they're going to do with it. But all in all, interesting book. Interesting number 1.
So where's your pull list?
Oh, I've got so many books. I read all these, and I think I had 27 books this week.
And you're going to pull list all of them?
No, I don't. I'm going to cut it. I will be here all night.
I messed up.
You did. As usual. Good choice.
So I had read this one.
Mm-hmm.
Boom. Fast.
There you go. You're getting better. So now, make sure you lean it up so you can talk to the camera and not to your lap. Nobody gives a care if you're talking in your lap.
My lap is very interesting.
It's solving problems.
So, Gail Simone is the writer, and the artist is David Baldwin.
He did an interesting story. He did Harley for a little while.
And Michael Shelfer. Yeah, Shelfer. So, they talk about the gods. The narrator, or whoever that is. Can you hold it? Good. Thank you.
Needy.
I know. So they're talking about gods and all that, and how they are gods. Yeah. And then Diamondback starts talking.
It's kind of like a flashback.
Yeah, her flashback. She's holding on, and how she was always called Snobby. Is that what they called her?
Yep.
A snob. Everyone used to call her. She was always called a snob. And she talks about her background, and then you see her talk about how she was in the Serpents. And then you're at Tony, and he's telling about the plane crashing, and they might not be able to stop it, but they can, like, convert it. And so the plane is crashing in Buenos Aires, and I don't know if I said that right. But
No, you did. Good job.
yeah.
Buenos Aires.
So she's trying to reach Domino because she's about to fall. And they're both telling her, don't do it. But she does it, and she flies forward, and then she grabs her, she saves her, and then they land. Good. Perfect. And then
Black Widow.
Yeah, is talking to Tony about it and how she can do the mission. She vouches for Domino. She's not gonna not stop because of what Tony says.
Because Tony Tony thinks that he should be able to have to get the comet piece that they were looking for, and they want to destroy it. The Hotshots want to destroy it because they're like, it's too powerful to be in anybody's hands. And Tony's like, no, we need to study it, all this stuff, and he wants to take it, and he thinks that it should be Avengers issue, and so they're like, nope, and Black Widow kind of shuts it down. She's like, no,
okay,
we're doing this.
And then they start talking after about the game and what to do, and then Domino and Rachel talk. They hug it out because she saved her, and she was very grateful. And then they're still talking about payroll and stuff like that, and then Domino talks to Wade, and then they have a
Diamondback, not Domino.
Dang it. Diamondback talks to him, then they make out, and while they're doing that, Domino, Widow, and Cowgirl, Outlaw are all talking about what to do. And after they're done, they talk about, are we sure that everyone's on board?
For like the 8th time. That is my only problem with this book. It's
they say that every book.
It's been like 4, this is like issue 4, and they've had like 3 different votes. Yeah. Every book they're like, are you sure you want to be in? Okay, now that we've crashed the plane, are you sure you want to be in? Okay, now that we've walked 4 steps, are you sure you wanted to be in? Everybody raise their hand. So they have another vote, and they all are like, yeah, we're still in. Like, it's still going. So.
And then my favorite part. The motorcycles.
Yeah,
they're all on their own unique motorcycles. Atlas Bear is not too happy.
No, because she has to be on
she's in the sidecar.
Reminds
me of Batman and Robin.
Yeah.
And so then they
track
so they find the location.
Right.
But they're stopped by these Sentinels.
But it's really AIM. AIM is like kind of like and genetically engineer these Sentinels to be like, they look like AIM soldiers.
Okay. And then and then Domino points out how like they're the boogeyman of mutant children. And so then they're like gaming and wondering how to take them down, and she gets a good slap by Alice Bear. And then they start fighting them, and it shoots Outlaw. Well, then the power comes to her. And she
celestial thing that she's infected with kind of like affects her and makes her giant.
Giant and fighting, like Giganta.
Yeah.
And then Diamondback points out that she helped Outlaw get up with her by her right hand. Mm-hmm. So she has it. So she's infected. She touched the back of Wade's neck, he got infected. And then she also saved Domino. She's held on to Domino, and so she's infected.
So all
of them except Atlas, Silver Fox, and Black Widow are infected. Yep. So only 3 are non-infected.
Yeah, 3 are infected, 3 are non-infected.
I'm pretty sure that's a tail. Like, it matches the hair.
I'm not. I don't know enough about her.
And now you got.
We have an argument. Not an argument. We're just curious to see if they have.
Silver Fox's tail is actually a tail.
Actually a tail, or part of her costume. I say it's part of her costume because of the fact that she didn't have a tail when she was in the first issue.
She could have been covering it up, though.
It's still a possibility. She could have had it like stuffed into her shirt or something, made her look like she's got a big giant.
Secret
poop in her pants. But anyway, so
And
that's
then
our.
you can
If
call
you
the
know, if
hotline.
anybody knows if Silver Fox, if she has a real tail or if she has a fake tail, we would love to know. So, anyway, so about the book, what did you think?
That was a 5 because I really liked it. I really liked it.
I know. The art's really good. The characters are really fun. The story's interesting, except for the fact that they vote every 5 minutes. Like, I'd be okay with them not voting next issue, hopefully.
They're probably going to take
They're probably going to vote. Okay, now that we're all big and infected, everybody still want to keep going? Raise your hand. I'm going to do #danger, number 1.
What? That sounds like a very big pop culture thing.
It does. It's kind of it is kind of funny.
Anything for the Instagram.
Or that's kind of what it's about. Like it's kind of funny.
Look.
Yeah. So the front is like they're all drowning in quicksand, and the little girl, the young girl's taking a selfie. So this is done by Tom Peyer. And the art is Chris Garuso. He did
Gogor.
Oh, what did he do? He did a big comic book he did the mini Marvels. He did in the back issues or the back of a lot of the letters pages. He also did G-Man. That's the one that I liked. He's done several little cartoon things. He's a pretty well-known artist as far as like his little cartoony characters that he's done with. He does some really interesting with crowns. Like he'll do some crown characters, which are really cool. So anyways, so #danger. It's the 3. There's 3. There's a Einstein Armstrong. He's the smart person. Sugar Ray Hong is the heavyweight champion. She's kind of the fighter. And Desiree Danger, she's kind of like this young debutante, and she's the leader at the currently. So they start out. They're trying to find this Yeti. And the smart guy...
that's what the actual art looks like. That's disappointing. I was hoping it actually looked like that.
No, I like this one. It's funny. But they're funny characters because the scientist is like, he's trying to figure out, he's like, look, we need to figure out if it's going to avalanche. We need to figure out where it's at. So he's like, hush, while I'm trying to... And so the girl, the young girl who's not really, doesn't have anything, she's just like, I'm cold. I just want to be... Are you ready? I'm cold. And then the heavyweight champion... She's constantly trying to fight everything. So he's like, okay, scan complete. So she's like, finally we get to beat it up. Let's go. And so she goes, trying to run in. He goes, wait. You can't run in yet. She's like, why? And the other girl's like, I'm so cold. Please let us run in. So finally he's like, fine. You know, it's 90 meters. We have to go. We turn and we fall into this chamber. And so the fighter runs in. And as soon as she runs in, the Yeti smacks her down. And he's like, oh. He goes, I'm at 9 inches. And so... The Yeti's been there the whole time. So the fighter grabs the Yeti, throws him on the ground, and starts an avalanche, so they have to run and escape. Well, the smart guy grabs the little Yeti's baby, and they all jump on the plane and fly away. So the Yeti's mad. They've got his baby. Got her baby.
Wouldn't it be a her?
I don't know. It could be a dad. Maybe it's a single father. You know, maybe
I don't know. We don't know the gender.
Maybe the mom's run off with somebody that's nicer, and maybe
she has an affair.
A Bigfoot. Yeah, she has an affair with Bigfoot, and she doesn't want to have anything to do with the child. And there's single dads out there, man. There's nothing wrong with that.
I know. She left him for Chupacabra.
Chupacabra. He's the happening man. So they are kind of arguing about what's happened.
And is she feeding that kid that Yeti beer?
Yeah, she's feeding the baby Yeti beer. And so they're like, please stop feeding it beer. So they're like...
It's drinking.
Yeah. And the fighter, when she got hit by the Yeti, lost her badge. And come to find out, the badge has been sending all this information to this computer. And so the girl didn't tell the team about it, so they're really mad at her. The Yeti finds the fighter's badge, and so he kind of activates it and is trying to learn how to learn all this stuff about them. So they get back to home base.
And it pukes, the
baby finally pukes from the beer because she's like, please stop giving it beer. And the smart guy enacts a bylaw that the young girl gets taken off of leadership and she has to go on trial. So the fighter lady has to be the defense, and then the smart guy is the prosecutor. And then so they're like, well, who's going to be the judge? So he's like, did you not read the bylaws? So they go to the ship and they get sucked into the ship, and the ship is the computer on the ship is the judge. So they they kind of have a funny trial where like the fighter doesn't defend her at all, and the smart guy's like just destroys her, and the ship's like, yeah, you're useless, you shouldn't have been doing this, you're no longer a leader. So the young girl's like, why? So
the road back.
Then eventually they get back to being normal, and hilarity ensues, and then they have to
where's the baby yet? Oh, there it is.
It's right there.
Another, and once more beer. Now it's an alcoholic.
Hey, now it's an alcohol. Yeah, exactly. Now it's gonna have to go to AA. So they have a AA, Alcoholics Anonymous meetings, and so they have to do.
Doesn't even speak English.
So the smart guy goes. He asks Desiree, he's like, "What's the update on tomorrow's press conference?" And she goes, "I sent out the invitations. Nobody RSVP'd." She goes, "It's not my problem because I'm not the leader." So the smart guy, he goes, he goes, "You know what? You're beer back to leader because he doesn't want to do the work." So she's like, "What?" Well, now she has to deal with it. So then it cuts back to the Yeti, who is using the badge to track them back to their lair. It has a little backstory in it. I didn't find it that entertaining. It was a comedic backstory. It was okay. I could have done without it. So all in all, it was a fun little book. Like, it's funny. It's probably not for smaller viewers because it does cuss a lot in it, and they are giving beer to a baby Yeti. So
I can read it.
I know, but that doesn't mean I should let you read it.
You should let me read it. Yes,
no.
You should. It's not that bad.
No.
It's
just because your mom and dad corrupt you doesn't mean I have to. We'll let them do their job.
Yes, my mom is always corrupting me.
I know, showing you bad things, taking you to the bars, and showing you how to fence things.
Straight up lies. Lies.
So it's a fun little. I mean,
taking me to horror movies, everything.
I know. Yeah, that's exactly right. Shooting up heroin in the back. She's a horrible parent. So
I'm gonna throw rocks at you.
So this book is really kind of just a really fun read. It is nothing serious. It's just a fun little cartoon read. They do really well with some of the dialogue. It's really cute, and it's just an entertaining one. I don't think it's I don't know if I would read it for a long period of time, but I did enjoy that. I didn't feel like I wasted my time because I did enjoy it and thought it was pretty funny at times. So I give it a 3 out of 5 unicorn horns. 3.5 maybe even. The art was really entertaining too. Back of the story was okay. I'm curious to see what the premise is, if they're just going to do these comedic things the whole time, or if they're actually going to have an overlying story that's going to be a little bit more deep, or what they're going to do with it. So I may pick up the second issue. I'm not for sure. We'll have to see. Depends on if I come across it again and it catches my eye. But yeah, some really good books this week. So I'm going to go over just the ones that I normally don't go over as far as my pull list, because I read a lot this week. So I don't want to, we will be here forever if I go over all of them.
How about you do this one?
I'm just going to do the digital ones. How about that?
No.
So Deathstroke, number 43.
Don't do that one because I want to read it.
Okay.
Because I didn't get a chance to read it.
Okay, well, we'll have you close your ears.
No, just don't pull list that one. That one is not important. You can skip one. No, you're not.
Deathstroke, number 43. They've escaped the prison. Then they found out that they had a failsafe, so they're kind of trying to... the prisoners are trying not to die, and Robin actually is trying to save them. They're trying to figure out why he hates Deathstroke so much. I really like the Teen Titans. I didn't like them. I liked them, and then they did this weird thing, and I just couldn't get on board with them anymore. Then they went back to they did a little bit of different premise now. The Robin came in and brought in the new team, which I really, really like because I didn't pick it up till later. But I've really enjoyed this kind of book. It's kind of fun, and Robin's just a messed up character. Damian Wayne is
He's always been a pain.
He's so messed up. It's just... But it's interesting to see how messed up he is. It's kind of entertaining to see that. So
I don't like how he is. He really doesn't like Jason Todd.
No, he's not a nice person, for sure.
He's not. And he's what, 12?
I know, right?
He's 12.
Got a lot of baggage.
He's worse
when you're raised by assassins and thieves, it's just kind of... you're going to end up a little dark.
Batman was raised
Anyways,
by a butler.
So 4 out of 5 unicorn horns. I really enjoyed it. This is like continuation from the like crossover, so I'm kind of interested to see how it's going to end. I think it ends next issue. Prisoner X. I won't go over it too much. I didn't like this issue, so I'm curious to see what you think about it. It was really jumbled and kind of weird. It was kind of hard to follow a little bit in some of the areas. I didn't quite know what was going on. I've slowly declined on the Age of X-Men book, so this one I actually give 2 out of 5 unicorn horns, so I'm curious to see what you think of it. So she'll text me later and see what she has to say. Terry Moore's 5 Years. I didn't read any of these books, so this is kind of a culmination of a lot of the characters from that world that they have 5 years to figure out how to stop this certain bomb. And so it brings back all these characters that I'm not familiar with. So for me, this book was not, I didn't know any of it. So I didn't feel like and they didn't explain it very well. So they just kind of like they expected you to know about the universe. And if you didn't, then oh well. So, I mean, 1 out of 5 unicorn horns. But I think it's because I don't know the world. Like if I read some of these books, I think you would enjoy it more. But for the knowledge that I have, I did not. Nobody is in Control. Again, another weird one. It's like, I don't even know how to describe it. I don't even know it's just a weird book. Like this guy's chasing this other guy through this woods, and they have it's all this conversation, nothing really goes. It's this weird conspiracy thing, and I wouldn't read it again. 1 out of 5 unicorn horns. I don't think it was very well. Like the premise wasn't set up. The art wasn't that great. It was very hard to tell what was going. Like some of the panels were very hard to tell who was what. So, not I don't recommend it. But
I have a question before you do your next. So, since we're on the topic, what's your favorite Robin?
Oh, I like Tim Drake.
Which one is that?
That's the he's the one that he's seeing spoiler. He's like the third one. No, he's the second one because it was Nightwing. No, Nightwing, and then it was Jason Todd, and then when he died, Tim Drake was the next one.
And then you got Damian.
Well, you actually had Stephanie, and then you had Damian.
Stephanie, a girl?
Mm-hmm. She was the spoiler. Huntress? No, she was the spoiler. She was the spoiler, and then she was Robin, and then she was Batgirl.
Yeah, but my favorite's probably Nightwing.
I like
Nightwing. I really like Nightwing. My least favorite is Damian, just because he's such a pain.
He is very much a pain.
And I'm like, what is wrong with you? Bro, calm down. Yeah. It's his mother.
He just needs some meds, man. He needs some meds.
He needs to
take it down a notch. Yeah, he needs to take it down a notch.
This is what happens when Talia al Ghul is his mother.
Maybe next time.
Look how Huntress turned out.
Don't you wish your mom was an assassin too?
Huntress's mom is.
She kills it with jokes, but that's about where it ends. So being raised by
Huntress's mom was Catwoman, and she turned out good.
Only in one world.
Only in one world? Oh, never mind.
Yep. In the other world, she was actually a monster's daughter.
Batman cannot have children.
I know, right? Yeah.
They never turn out
Bad
good.
News.
Never turn out well.
So, Girl in the Bay. This was the final one. She finally confronts the guy that killed her. In this book, it's really kind of a metaphysical.
Have you read the other ones?
Mm-hmm, yeah. And so this is kind of the ending of that, and kind of how she how it worked out. It's for me it was very convoluted. I didn't quite understand. It's almost like they explained it too much to where it didn't quite make as much sense as I would like it, and it was very well, you're just gonna have to accept that she made a double of herself, and she went through time, and she's this, and then all of a sudden we're gonna throw this goddess person that we don't really talk about, and then it's just kind of it got a little confusing. So the ending wasn't my favorite. I did like the book up until here. The premise was kind of interesting, but the ending I thought it was a little lackluster. So 2 out of 5 unicorn horns, but the art's really good. I really liked the art. Descendant. People are getting kidnapped. All these kids are getting kidnapped, and there's this weird symbol that's being left behind.
Is it that?
Yep. And so it's about these investigators and people trying to figure out who's kidnapped these kids, and they're trying to find them. It was okay. 2 out of 5 unicorn horns. I probably won't read the next one. It was not my bag, not my favorite book. So it was okay. Fallen World by Valiant. They brought in a lot of their Valiant characters, which are really kind of neat.
You already went over those ones, right?
Nope.
You already read Major X.
This is number 3.
Oh, this is a... No, I don't think that's not a different one.
I promise you. I know, because I take them off. I remove them off my iPad before so that way I don't get confused, like you. So Fallen World, I thought was a really interesting book.
You have way too many pull lists.
I know. This is why I'm only doing this, because look, I still have this whole, like all these. Like this big old stack of books. So that's why we're only doing the digital ones. Fallen World, although you talking ain't helping me get through it any faster. It was pretty good. I liked it. They had some really neat characters in it. A lot of the Valiant characters are coming into this. It's about when the Japan fell. And so it's about Rai kind of getting things together. It introduces a lot of the other extra characters, which I kind of liked. I really like this one.
Why is his name Rai? That's bread.
No, not like R-Y. It's R-A-I, not R-Y-E.
Still, your name is a grain. Not a good name.
Why not? Grain grows and makes things... Oh, you know what? I don't know why I argue with you anymore. I'm just going to let you go.
I'm always proving
You're
a good
broken.
point.
Your brain is broken. Broken.
It's been broken.
All that heroin. All those track marks. She's probably rotting her brain.
So bad. so awful.
So, anyways... So it was pretty good. I liked it. 3 out of 5 unicorn horns. I'm curious to see. I'd probably give it more if I was more involved in the world, but I'm not. So 3.5 unicorn horns. Strike Force, the Dark Elf Realm. Really, honestly, like the actual War of the Realms number 3, I think did a better book than this one. This one is just kind of. It explains, it's like an extra, like it just explains why they picked all these people and how they picked all these people, and most of the stuff that happened from this book is actually in the War of the Realms instead of this book, because the first half of the book is just them talking about why they picked these people, and the second half, or the last bit is like, read War of the Realms, and then you'll see why she's here, and it was just like, well, wasn't that what this book is supposed to be about? I didn't quite understand why they did that, but it was okay. If you like War of the Realms, which I've actually been really enjoying, I think is an interesting kind of, it's fun, it's neat. This would be a great addition. So 3 out of 5 unicorn horns. The art's pretty good. The writing's pretty good. But again, I just think it's a weird story just to kind of throw out there and not really know what it's from. Meet the Scrolls. This is kind of wrapping things up. They have a big fight. The mom and the husband. And then they're kind of continuing on, and then at the end, spoiler alert, but their handler kills the dad and is going to take the dad's place in the family to kind of, which is really sad because I really like the dad. This is kind of like The Americans, the show The Americans with what is her name? Felicity. She played Felicity. Anyways, it's kind of this spy KGB, but with shapeshifters, which is really kind of interesting. I really, really like this book. 4 out of 5 unicorn horns. Major X, number 3. It's just horrible. The story is so convoluted. The characters are horrible. They keep using the same word. It's just, yeah, essential, excenches, X this, X that, and it's just, and it's so, the flow is just weird. Wolverine's smiling. Wolverine doesn't smile. There's the first page is Wolverine smiling and laughing, and I'm like, he doesn't laugh. It's just what is this? What is that? No, he's not a happy person. And the first half is he's like, oh, I'm so happy to be fighting with McCoy. Are you McCoy's are you his descendant? And he's like, I can't tell you that. I can't. It is just utter crap. It is horrible. So yeah, I'm not even going to give it a 1. I would just say no. I don't know why I keep reading it. I'm hoping. It's like I have this hope.
Just like you keep reading Justice League.
Oh my gosh, I know. But I have a lot of hope in my heart. I hope one day you'll kick your habits. And then I hope one day
what
that...
What habits?
All your horrible ones, like interrupting me. And,
I thought you were going to say the heroin.
You are both so dead.
I just have a lot of hope in my heart for things, and I'm hoping this book is good, and every single time it just gets worse and worse.
I don't need Jesus. Jesus needs me.
I think he's abandoned us a long time ago in the show. So 2 more. Null Fairies. I thought Null Fairies number 4 by Action Labs. These last one are both Action Labs. It was kind of interesting. I came in the middle of it. It's number 4. So it's this fairy that actually lost her magic because of something that happened to her. It is. And so, but she's trying to find the magic fairy powder that's been stolen, and it actually helps her to not be magic because she's she
you
can't be found.
You don't need magic to
right.
be great.
Exactly. So she's kind of like this, fairy warrior.
You just need confidence. It just takes confidence, but that's
and
not
skills.
Mainly confidence.
It's not mainly confidence.
It is confidence.
No, it's not. No.
My brain's probably.
You can be confident that you can weld all you want, but you ain't gonna weld because you don't know what you're doing. I'm confident you're gonna fail.
Confidence has gotten me to a lot of places.
Yes, it's gotten her here. It's gotten her here. This is where confidence gets you. A YouTube show that has 29 people and will probably be nowhere, and we will continue to do it forever until we die.
Best YouTube channel.
Because it's a hobby.
All right, last one.
Just like my favorite.
No Fairies, though, was pretty good. I like that. That was interesting. I kind of want to go back and read, but I've got so much stuff I probably won't be able to. But if you're a fantasy kind of person, I think it's a fun little read. 3 out of 5 unicorn horns. Cold Blood Samurai. This one was weird. It's a samurai story. It's a very Japanese samurai's going. He's in love with this prostitute, and he's trying to get her out of the town. Well, she ends up...
Which one are we going over?
Cold Blood Samurai. Wait for it. There's a weird twist. So he falls in love with this girl. He's trying to get her out. He's like, I'll meet you at this tree. Here's a knife. If you need to protect yourself, but meet me at this tree. Well, she gets stopped by the bad guys. The bad guys bring her to the feudal lord.
I swear, every time there's a story...
If you just go to what they say...
Every time there's a story where someone says, meet me here, they never meet. They never meet.
Never meet. Ever.
Never.
No.
Romeo and Juliet, all them stories, they never meet.
So if somebody tells you to meet them somewhere, you tell them, no. I'll come pick you up. I will come pick you up.
No, we're going to do it right now. There is no meeting. We go now.
Or I'll pick you up. Because I don't want to do it
We go now.
Anyways, so she ends up getting or the bad guys take her and they're going to rape and kill her, or rape and beat her, and she kills herself. Well, she tries to defend herself, but she ends up getting killed. Well, the samurai comes, and of course he avenges her. But
That's
the
a
whole
horrible
thing,
story.
It's a horrible story. But the whole thing is they're all salamanders. Like the samurai and the girls are lizards, and the bad guys are all crabs, like these hard-shelled crabs. And yeah, I mean, it sounds like a really interesting premise, but art-wise, it got really confusing. The female, she is the female prostitute is she's like this weird.
Oh yeah, they're all lizards.
Lizards are frogs. See, she's got this weird pattern to her. It's this black and white.
And that's her guy.
But it's hard to tell. Yeah, it's hard to she's got this weird black and white pattern, but later on there's scenes where it's hard to tell what she's where she's at, or you can't see her eyes, or it got really convoluted and lost in, I think, the artistic translation. So it kind of lost some of its, I don't know, empathy for me.
What do the crabs look like?
I don't know.
You just passed
I'll let you look through it. So here.
Good.
So
Thank you.
anyways, but I thought it was I mean, like, it was an interesting premise, but it didn't really hold my attention.
What kind of blood is that? You can't even see where she was injured.
Let me finish. All right. So, I'll finish with that, and that'll be the end. That'll be my last one. So, if you can, like, share, and subscribe. We'd love to have more people than my 29 viewers. We'd love to have hundreds and hundreds, and I'm sure Kelly, the dragon, would love hundreds and hundreds of admirers. But until then, we hope your pull list is full, and we hope you have a good week.
Bye.
Bye.